Hi everybody, my name is Wout and I am a PR coordinator with Evolve PR. That means I get to work on a lot of cool games, but my favorite game personally is unfortunately not a title I get to work with, but it is Dragon Dogma, and to be more specific, Dragon Dogma Dark Arisen. Now, I've talked about this game many times on Twitter to the point where it's probably annoying for most of my followers, but that doesn't mean I can do it again in this format, because I don't get to do that often. This is the second time I record this, because the first time I tried, I went on for so long because the game is so awesome, and I'm gonna do my best to organize it a little bit better. So this is what I like to call the 3 pillars of Dragon's Dogma's awesomeness. And I'm gonna cut it down to combat, the world, which is called the Grances, and the batshit bananas storytelling, like, oh my fucking god, I can't even. They're masterworks all, like, you can't go wrong. So, the combat in this game is, to me, so unique, and not in a way that other games have ever done it that way. Like, a lot of games have like multiple classes that you can pick, and you can pick like the wizard or the fighter or the rogue. In Dragon's Dogma there's like 12 classes, and they all feel so unique. Whether it's like the magic archer, where you can light up a room by shooting a shining arrow in the ceiling and like literally light up the room, because darkness is a whole different ball game in this game. Or a sorcerer, where you can literally bring down a comet from the sky and just obliterate Bunny or whatever you're fighting, doesn't matter, indoors or outdoors. Or two-handed combat, big board and shield, assassin with some amazing combos and parries and all that kind of stuff. They all managed to put it into this one game. So whatever your playstyle is, Dragon's Dogma will have a character that you can build from scratch for yourself that will work for you, which is awesome. So in total there's like 3 classes with 9 jobs, 42 like core skills. You can get putting the character in like 75 buffs and like almost 170 skills that you can pick and use in this game. Like, that shit is just unmatched. And all of this takes place to what I like to call like the second pillar, which is the world of Dragon's Dogma. So Grances is not a huge world. I wouldn't say it's open world. It's more like several maps interconnected. There's no loading in between whatsoever, except for a couple of dungeons. But everything has a purpose in this game. And what I like so much about this world is, if I'm in my starter village, I can see the main city in the background. Like, the drawing distance in this game is just amazing. And when you get further close to the big city, you can see other landmarks in the distance, and you can all go there. And it gives you the sense of actually having a place in the world. And instead of what some games do, where they expand the world too much, that they have to fill it with copy-paste filler, like the same rock, the same tree, a copy-paste village somewhere, it makes it feel bigger, but it feels empty in a way. With Dragon's Dogma, like, every sight worth seeing in this world is there because it has a story or it has a place, and it's unique. Like, it's a castle that is used as a waypoint before you get to the main city, but it's been damaged in war, and the catacombs where you go are there because it's a burial site, not just because it's done catacomb number 17 with like fresh head of cabbage at the end of it. Like, everything has a purpose in this world, and it feels really lived in, because you have travelers, and I know other games do this as well, to see other people on the road. But what makes this game so cool is the travelers that you see are actually other people's sidekicks, the players from other people's games that get like uploaded to the Rift or the cloud, if you will. And they kind of live in your world as well, so you get to see what other people's characters look like as well. That's super cool. So in Grances there's like 700 dungeons, and 350 of those are rock-based, and then there's 350 that are ice-based, and there's like a whole 2 enemy types in those. Oh no, wait, that's Skyrim. Oh yeah, no, I'm thinking Skyrim. No, so in Grances there's like 3 divisions of the world. There's 15 regions, and like 28 locations, point of interest. And like I said, like 28 might not sound like a lot, but everything is there for a reason, and it fits in the world, and it lives there. And then in the expansion Dark Arisen, they actually added a whole new island, which is slightly more procedural generated, but it's just super cool. And like I said, like about the characters living in this world, there's a couple of main characters in there. And I think what I like so much about this game is how compact the world is. Like, you don't have to interact with thousands of lookalike characters. Like, every character is extremely unique in this game, and you start to have like a bond with the players you spend the most time with. And if you play this for the first time, you'll be surprised, because you might not understand that talking to a certain merchant several times and doing quests for them raises your bond level with these people. And at the end, you'll see why that is important. I'm not going to give it away if you haven't played it before, but it's pretty funny. So everything has purpose. It feels lived in. The characters are great. And once you get to know the area a little bit, like, you just feel like at home. And also Mercedes is the best girl, just so you know. And the story, the story of Dragon's Dogma and your story, it's interesting. Like, the first time I played it, it felt a little weird, to be honest. It's a big dragon that literally rips the heart out of your chest in the beginning, and then you learn more about it, and you can just play the game and like listen to the dialogue and kind of understand. Okay, it's the dragon, he's a bad guy. I'm gonna go kill the dragon and then beat the game. But if you really dig into it, like more like Dark Souls style, where you read the lore and you take the time to listen to the characters, because there's a lot you can miss. Like, there's a lot you can miss in this game, because the world doesn't wait for you, it just moves on. So if you skip certain events, then you'll just miss out on what the story is. But if you finish this game like 18 times, like I did, you'll get a very deep understanding of what the game is actually trying to tell you. And once you understand that, and especially like the end game stories that are being told, it has a lot of layers and it has a lot of depth, and that just makes this game so cool. I will be the first to admit, though, that the game doesn't really sell itself really well, especially not in the first hour or so, and that's, I think, why it didn't do super well in the beginning. It has a bit of a barrier to really get to the good stuff, and an hour sometimes is a lot to ask from people, especially if you like get this game through a high discount, or it was free on PSN, or whatever how you first get exposed to it. If it doesn't click right away and there's so much else to play, like, you kind of move on. So I don't blame people for not digging into it the way I did, but almost everyone that I know that got into this game, they see it, they feel that hook, they see how amazing the combat is, and the unique pawn system that they have, which is build a sidekick, like build a bear but with a sidekick. So your secondary character stays with you the whole time, and like they give you tips on the world, because if an other player hires like your pawn from the cloud and they take them adventuring, then they learn from that world, and the information they learn, like a monster you've never fought before, bring it back to your game. So you see a monster for the first time, but another adventurer who brought your pawn on their adventure had fought that monster. They'll say, okay, this monster is weak to fire or to lightning or whatever, and that is just so cool. Like, after a while, you get to know them really well, and because they do repeat a lot of what they're saying. But this is a 2012 game, so for back then, it was an amazing new feature that we've never seen before. So all in all, like, if you put all of this together in just one game, kind of makes it why I always say that Dragon's Dogma is a perfect video game. Because for me, it does everything I want a video game to do. It has a world I care about, it has characters I care about, I can min-max the shit out of my character by getting the optimized skills and getting optimized gear, because there's a lot of that as well. And it's just non-stop enjoyment. I cannot tell you how awesome it is to climb on top of a giant ogre and just do 1,000 kisses in his eyeball, which is a move that involves daggers and a lot of stabbing. Despite the name, you would say, but it's actually pretty violent. And it's just, I've played this game for hundreds and hundreds of hours, and I platinumed it, and at some point I knew I had to like stop, because there's other stuff to do as well, and I have other games to play, but I couldn't just like stop playing it, so I had to like finish my playthrough. And what I did with this game is I took my character and my pawn, my sidekick, to the starter town where you were raised and born and raised in story, and I just put them in some good looking equipment and set them out with a nice view of the beach, and just closed my game. Not for good, I'll probably go and get back to it, and just had peace when I closed the game for the last time. And I don't think I've ever done it with another game, and it's just testament to how special this game is to me. And if you are curious, I hope you will capture the magic there as well, because it's worth it. And damn, please, Dragon's Dogma 2, it has so much potential to be the best game ever, again. But anyway, if I don't stop now, I will again have myself another 45-minute video. So, until then, Dragon's Dogma 2, and for you, happy gaming.